Hi everybody, Stuart Gorsky here, Kilo 9, Sierra Tango Uniform, King 9, Sam Tom Union, in the city of Gardena, California. Just got my Radioddity digital, small, tiny 20 watt digital radio, the DB25-D. I'm not doing an unboxing, that's kind of silly. I will lay that out for you. I got the radio itself. It's very small, smaller than many handhelds actually. You got your bracket for mounting. You got your microphone, of course. It came with a programming cable and the power is supplied through a cigarette lighter. I'm not sure what you call it these days. I will cut that off and put some power poles or something on there. It also comes with the GPS antenna that mounts in the back, and should be that gold connector right there. Got your antenna connector, you got a small fan, and of course the power coming out. The radio itself is, like I said, it's very small and puts out 20 watts, which is plenty for most situations, especially here in the LA County, the city area. All our repeaters and everything up on mountaintops, you can hit all this stuff on a half watt, let alone 20 watts. This will go down to 5 watts, which is fine. It came from China, so I guess the next step is to program it and give you a demonstration on how well it seems to be working. Hi everybody. On this new radio of mine by Radioddity, it's got an upper and a lower channel, and I've got the citywide in one zone and I got dispatch in the fire department zone. Problem is when there is sound on the bottom, when there's voices talking on the bottom where it says dispatch, or it could be any other channel there, you cannot transmit on the citywide channel, which in my case is what we use all the time. It's nice to listen to the fire and stuff like that, but if I need to talk on citywide, I need to be able to press the transmitter and it needs to talk. And you cannot do that on this radio. At least I can't find the settings. You have to switch to the top zone. You see the arrow. I'm pressing right now. I cannot talk in citywide. It will not let me talk in citywide. So I need to talk on citywide at any time, and until the bottom switches back up to the top, as you saw the arrow goes, I cannot talk. So I would like to know, is there a way to totally disable the bottom screen and only show one screen? I want only one screen on there. I don't want both. This is not a radio that's got dual receive, so in a lot of cases it's very, very bad to have it like that. So is there a way to make this display only show one channel? I don't want both of them. I can't find it in the software. I know a lot of other radios have that. So that's what we need at this point, is to be able to disable one of the channels and just show one of them. And also, the characters are not enough. Most modern radios are doing 12, 13, 14, 15 characters, and this one's very limited to about 10, I believe. So it needs to have more characters. I will post another evaluation of this radio, but so far I'm getting very not happy. The software is abysmal. It's probably the worst software I have ever seen for a radio. I'd like to get into just a few of the items that need to be changed fairly quickly. The first one is the channel names. You only have 10 characters, and in this age of modern radios, they're giving you 12 minimum, 14, 15 characters, and that would be a very good thing to have on this radio so you can have full names. Next, your group calls, limited to 10 characters. You need to have 12 to 15 characters for your group call. Your receive groups, same problem. They only have 10 characters, and you probably need 10 to 15 on that one. Zone names, same thing. Only 10 characters. There's a trend going on here. You need to have more than just 10 characters in a modern radio. Next, we have the radio ID. I can see only one place to enter one radio ID. And again, all the really great Linkos and all these other radios, they allow you to have multiple radio IDs, which you can assign to individual channels. And I do not see that anywhere in this software. I want to get back to the display and some of the issues. If you see the top zone, it says citywide. That's supposed to say citywide TAC. In the bottom one, that's a LA County Fire Zone, and that's dispatch, but it should say LA County Dispatch. Now, back in the old days, 15, 20, 30 years ago, when they first came out with radios with displays, all they could do is 6 characters because it cost a lot of money to do just a screen with 6 characters, and everybody was thrilled. And you had W6TRW and K6EH, and that's what you got. But nowadays, with modern technology, there's no reason to do that. You could have names like Cert Ops 1 or Field Ops 1, Field Ops 2, Mount Pleasant, or you could have something like Big Bear City. That makes a lot more sense than just K6EH. So this radio needs to be fixed as far as the only 10 characters. Now, a radio like this or similar radios are okay to use for a hobby, for casual listening, but certainly not for disaster services, e-com, and stuff like that. And you would never buy this for e-com unless you fixed the display problem. You have on the top, you got a channel, and here you can see it says citywide, which should be citywide TAC. The bottom, you're listening to LA County Fire Dispatch. When LA County Fire Dispatch goes off, you cannot talk on the citywide TAC channel. You can't even manually punch in the buttons. It won't let you go to the other channel until the bottom channel, in this case dispatch, were to stop talking. Bottom line for now, this radio needs some major software changes. You need to be able to disable one of the zones and only have one zone being displayed. Therefore, you get no interference and the radio is effective. If you want to scan through a bunch of channels, fine, that's fine. But the way it is now, it is just really hard to use for anything more than just casual listening and goofing around. One other thing, just to let you know, it has a speaker output, a speaker plug, but the plug itself is not the normal, I'm not sure if that's 1/8 inch or whatever that is. It's a smaller plug, so you can't plug in your external speaker. I may be able to go out and see if I can find an adapter for even a smaller pin, but it's just little things like that that drive me nuts, and I'll see if I can work around it and get it to work. So what are my plans for this radio? Well, the way it is, I was going to put it in a little go box for demonstrations. The radio is very small, takes up no room, it'll use very little power, and for being a little display piece, it'll be fine, but not for any kind of serious work. If they make some of the changes that I've recommended, then it could be more effective and actually a useful radio for some kind of more serious communications. Okay, everybody. This is Stuart Gorsky, K9STU, and most of us are just hams, and we're having fun out there, and I'm doing this review about this particular radio. I come at it more from a disaster services mindset, and a lot of you may not be. So, maybe what I'm talking about today, the problems with this radio, maybe they don't affect you whatsoever, and I get it. And I'm just another guy, and you don't have to listen to me. But that's my 2 cents. And, if you like what I'm talking about, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be putting out more stuff like this. Take care, everybody. Okay, everybody. Well, it's the next day, and I went out to the Torrance Electronics and I picked up a plug so I can now use a external speaker for the radio. And so I have to have an adapter, and it sticks out quite a bit over here, but at least it works, and the sound is so much better with this speaker. I haven't figured out how to turn off this speaker or the microphone speaker, but I'm pretty sure there's got to be a way to do that. So the sound is much better. Now, for the much more exciting news, I found a way to disable the bottom and possibly or the top zone. And so the interference of one channel going off, interrupting the important channel, has gone away and makes this radio a much more usable radio. Now let me see if I can show you how to do this. I'm going to go into the menu settings, and I'm going to go to, let me see here, I got to go to this icon there, the gear icon, press the button, and I will go to display mode. See? Display mode. Press it in, and there we go. And if I go all the way down to SD mode, I will turn on the SD mode. And let's back out, back out, back out, and son of a gun, there you go. Now, it would be better, absolutely better, if this took up the whole screen, but it does not. I've just grabbed my little Radioddity, this little radio, and you know what? This little radio, if you use it for a certain purpose, it is an excellent, excellent radio. It's got a little antenna, it's very small, but this radio works really good for local area repeaters and stuff like that. I'm very impressed with this. Anyways, I'm going to make a call onto the citywide channel, and let's see what display shows up.
This is Gardena Staff 1. The name is Stuart. Testing the Radioddity DB25-D mini radio. We're doing an audio check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is Gardena Staff 1. Clear.
I want to show you one more thing that I discovered. Right now we're in the Gardena DCS zone with the citywide channel showing. In the bottom zone, the LA County Fire is not being displayed. So if you go to the radio and hit the BE button on top, the zones switch, and now anything in the Gardena zone will not interfere with your LA County zone. I'm going to go back very quickly to the Gardena DCS zone, and now the radio is ready to go for normal communications that will be uninterrupted. So as you could see, the bottom of the screen did not have any information displayed. It's just like a blank screen. The top, the citywide TAC channel did display a ham radio DMR number that's put in my radio. I have not, it would have probably said my name on the screen here, except I have not programmed that number into my radio as a contact, and I will do that eventually. But at any rate, so I'm very encouraged that the radio is now much more effective, much more usable. Is this your go-to radio? No, but can you use it in a pinch? I think possibly so. So now that I've solved the problem of getting interference from a second band, I think that this radio is a much better, I'll give it a much better review than what I did on yesterday. So I still think that Radioddity needs to make those changes with the amount of characters. You need to have 12, minimum of 12, got to go up to maybe 14 or 15 to display on the screen. And there's a bunch of software bugs that are just impossible. The software that you use to work on your radio is very low resolution. It's not very sharp, and it's kind of difficult to work with. It's kind of slow. When you want to set up a new channel, you go to the top and you select number 1 and you enter a channel. And you put in your information, but you can only get half of the information is there. So you have to use the scroll bar and scroll to the right to finish up the information for that channel. Then you have to use the scroll bar and go back and go to number 2 and fill out that information, scroll to the right and finish the information for that channel, and it keeps going back and forth, back and forth. What you need is an add channel button, and a page pops up just for that channel. You can see everything on the screen, you can fill it out, and when you're finished, you hit a next button and the next channel pops up for population. This software is a nightmare. So after a couple of days of trying to program the radio and seeing how usable it is, I've got a couple conclusions for you. One, the software is terrible. The owner's manual is not bad at all, but the software is terrible. It's slow, it's low resolution. Adding a channel is a nightmare. What you really need is to have a new channel button. You set up a channel, everything's on the screen in high resolution, easy on your eyes. Hit the next button, set up another channel, and so on and so forth. When you use this radio and you want to turn off one of the zones, the screen goes blank and there's no information, so you're only seeing a half a screen when you should be seeing data on the whole screen for that one zone. So that needs to be worked on. It's kind of very unprofessional. So would I use the radio in more than just a goof-off situation? Yeah, it can be used. You lock out a channel and it works very well. It transmits very well. If you put in a external speaker, which by the way, they have an odd size plug. It's really ridiculous. I don't know why they do that. But if you put an external speaker in, it actually sounds pretty darn good. Would I recommend the radio? I think I would. It's okay. It's small radio. You could take in your luggage and take it out of town with a small antenna and a mag mount, and you could have 20 watts of power, and it'll work just fine. It does need to have that external speaker to make it sound really good. The internal speaker and the microphone speaker are okay and they're usable, but they could be a little clearer. The speakers are kind of small. The radio itself, it's okay. I don't mind having it. I'm going to use it for display and stuff. And since you can lock out the other zone, it's usable for different kind of situations. So yes, it is a usable radio. So let's see what Radioddity does and see how they fix it. Maybe they'll fix the screen. Hopefully they'll fix the software because, like I said, the software is a nightmare. So everybody, that's my 2 cents. And everybody, take care.